So there are two things that we must do in order to remain motivated and to continue going despite everything, no matter how bad it might seem. There are two things, and this is exactly what I shared with him on that day. And I would like for all of us, if we have an opportunity, to just bring our focus to the call. And some of obviously you guys are driving, as appointments, that's okay. But for most of us, I want you guys to bring your focus to the call. Bring your intention here for a moment and your attention, if you can. And I would like for you guys to listen to what I'm going to tell you next. My answer to him was this. I said, the reason that I've been able to do it for 8 years and you can't seem to get past your first 6 months is because you have not established a why that is desperate. You have not established a why that is desperate. Not a happy why, not money, not success, not status. I'm talking about something that drives you from your core that is so motivating that it's painful and that it makes you cry. And then he asked me the next question. Listen to this. This is what he asked me next. He said, what was your why when you first started? Here it is. And I want to share this with you, and I hope that it inspires all of you to look deep. When I first got started into real estate, I was working at the Department of Corrections for a few years. I just got out of high school, and then I had started making a lot of dumb mistakes. I had a couple of DUIs. I started getting in trouble, finally got a good job. And I went to church one time after like weeks and months and years of like just bad. I would spend $2 for every dollar that I earned. And it always seemed like money was running away from me. I never could figure out where my money was going. It was always like bleeding through my account. I always had too much month left at the end of the money. And I couldn't figure out why that was. And I was just so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I went in after years of like DUI, getting in trouble, like doing all these things I shouldn't be doing, like girls and all that stuff. I got to a point where I was like, I'm so sick and tired of this. I went to church one day and the pastor pulled me aside and he told me to do this exercise. He said, Gabe, you're 24 right now. You're 24. You have gotten in trouble with the law. You're making some bad mistakes. You're going to these check cashing advance places, and you're getting your check and you're having to pay them back and you're broke again. So you have to get another cash advance and you're in this vicious cycle. This is what I want you to do. He said, close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes. And after I close my eyes, he's like, now I want you to think about this. If you continue working at your job that you're at, if you continue making the decisions that you make at work, outside of work, if you continue doing the things to your mom, your dad, your sister, your friends around you, where do you end up in 10 years? Then he paused and I stopped and I thought about it. Now, where are you at 20 years from now? 44. And I thought to myself, well, a promotion, hopefully at the prison, and hopefully I'm making like $300 more, $300 more per check. Hopefully I have a good 401k account. Hopefully I have a nice apartment that I can rent. My debt's all paid off by that time. He said, good, now go 50 years. Where are you now? And I started talking about like, well, I'm 50 years down the road. I'm like, okay, well, I'm like my 70s now. I have a kid, maybe I'm a grandparent by this time. He said, okay, now go. He said, add 20 more years. Now what? I'm like, well, I'm probably really old. I'm probably really sick. I'm probably getting ready to die. And he was like, then what? I'm like, well, then I probably end up dying. And then when I end up dying, he's like, well, what happens next? I'm like, well, my kids are going to be sad. And then my grandkids will be sad. And then he said, and then what? I'm like, well, that's it. And then I stopped in that moment. I was like, whoa. I got really scared. I got really like all these chills all over my body. I thought to myself, if I continue doing what I'm doing right now, my life, I already watched my whole life in front of me. I'm going to end up on a freaking deathbed. And my kids are going to be sad when I die. And then my grandkids might be sad when I die. But when my grandkids get older and they have their kids aren't going to know who I am. I didn't do anything for them. I didn't leave a legacy. Great-grandpa Gabe didn't do anything. He was just some guy who went to the bar, got drinks, had a couple of girlfriends, got into some trouble, paid off his debt, didn't buy a house, didn't invest into the future, didn't leave the family anything. And now my kids are gone, my grandkids are gone, and they forgot who Grandpa Gabe is. And the last thing is, I'm just a photo on the fireplace mantle. Like, who was that? Oh, I think that was my great-grandpa. That was it. Didn't do anything with my life. I didn't help my mom. I didn't help my dad. I didn't help my sister. I didn't help my children. I didn't help anyone else out. And he said, Gabe, come back to right now. And I was bawling like a baby. He's like, how did that make you feel? I'm like, it's painful. And it was hurtful because I was so mad at myself, knowing that I had the rest of my life ready to live 90 more years. I'm 24 years of age. I had lived my life 90 years and I had nothing to show for it. I was forgotten about 2 generations later, nothing. And I had this one shot at this thing called life and I had nothing to show for it. Now listen to this. That happened. And he said, what he told me next blew my mind. He said, okay, you've lived that life once now. God just gave you a second chance. You're 24 again. What are you going to do differently? Blew my freaking head. And I sat there to myself and I thought, oh my gosh, I have a second chance at all of this. You know what the most painful thing was? I didn't get a chance to, in that first life that I lived, when he asked me to play it out, I didn't get a chance to help my mom. My mom is first generation from Mexico. She raised my sister and I. My dad cheated on her, left us, and she had to fend for her. She had to fend for us by herself. She had to raise us. She had 3 jobs. I never got a chance to see her. My mom had 2 options. One, my mother could have went on dating men, bringing men home, dating, saying, screw my kids. I'm still young. I'm going to do me, YOLO. Or she could have done what she did, which is when I got 2 more jobs, got an apartment for us. My mom had a choice. She could have went out and lived her life, or she could have sacrificed her life for us so we could have had a better life. She chose the latter. She went and got 3 jobs. I never saw her. I didn't see her growing up. And I had so much guilt. That first life that I lived, I was so upset at myself that I went 70 years and I never gave my mom the chance at life. She never got to go to Italy. She didn't get a chance to go to dinners. She didn't get a chance to have a Mercedes. She didn't get a chance to have a home. What the fudge was I doing? Clubbing, bar hopping, going out? I'm 60, 70. My mom passed away. What did my mom live for? She should have just went and dated men. She should have went on dinners. But instead, my mom gave up her entire life for me and my sister and I, so that we could have a really good life. And that guilt ate me up so bad inside. And I told myself, I never want to feel that ever again. I don't ever want to have my mom not at least do it. So my pastor said, come back to the present. You've lived that life already. You know it doesn't work and you know what it leads to. You now have a second chance. What are you going to do differently? And that's when my why was established. My desperate why, my why that makes me cry, that literally just made me cry right now. That was my why. My why was that my mom and my grandmother and my sister were going to have a better opportunity in life. And I asked God to put all the weight on my shoulders. I said, God, the only thing that I need moving forward is health. All I need is health. Just give me the health and I'll make everything else happen myself. That was my why. And every single day, you can ask any of my friends, you can ask any of my family members, my why was everywhere. It was on my phone. It was on the ceiling of my home, my bedroom. It was on the walls, my bathroom mirrors. My why was, ask anyone who knew me from 2013 to 2015, what my bedroom looked like. If I have photos, I'll show you guys a little later. Maybe it's on Instagram. It was my why and nothing but positive affirmations, positive quotes, things around me that uplifted my spirit and all that stuff. That's what I did. That was my crazy why that drove me every single day. It was my why that when I was knocking on doors and people were slamming the door in my face, nothing happened. It was the why that when I was making cold calls, no one was answering. It kept me going. It was my why that when I had $0 left and my car got repossessed at a listing appointment, that kept me going. It was my desperate why. Now, people are motivated by 2 factors. Listen carefully. People are, you guys are, all of you on this call, you're motivated by one of 2 things. You're either motivated by pain or you're motivated by pleasure. One of the 2. Out of the 2, pain is the most compelling. Pain is the one that'll get you to do something. I'll prove it to you. If I was overweight when I was young, and if ever you've ever been overweight, there's 2 things that'll make you change. Either one, is it the image of you being super successful, 6-pack, looking pretty, or is it the doctor sitting you down saying, if you don't get your shit together, you're going to be on diet, you're going to have diabetes, you're going to be on pills, and you're going to lose your life weight sooner than you're supposed to. Both are motivating. One's just a little more painful. People are motivated by pain. My pain was so deep inside my heart that I didn't want my mom to go through that. I would never forgive myself if I never gave my mom a chance to live the life that she had. And I told myself I'm going to work my ass off. My second motivation was pleasure. Here's what I did. I said, okay, well, what kind of life do I want to have for myself? Who do I want to be? And I'm going to be real with you guys. Okay. This is my motivation for pleasure. This is what I told him on the call. My pain motivation was my mom. That was my why that made me cry. But the vision that got me excited was this. I wanted to be the most desirable man in the world. I wanted to be the Christian Grey of real estate. I went and took piano classes. I learned how to dance bachata and salsa. I read every single book. I said, I'm going to be literate. I'm going to learn how to read. I'm going to learn how to speak. I went to communications courses. I started getting custom suits. I went all in, like, that's my vision for myself. I want to be the most desirable guy. Those are my two motivating factors when I first got started. And that is what got me through every single hard part of my entire life, from the very beginning all the way to the very end until I got to a certain point. Then 4 years later, 5 years later, I was able to buy a home in 2020. My wife and I gave it to my mom, paid off the solar, gave it to her, paid off her car. She's debt free. She lives a very happy life. She traveled to Europe recently last year. Like, it was a really good time. And I told the guy that on the phone. I said, that's what happened. He said, well, what motivates you now? What happened now? He's like, you have the house, you have the investment, your kids are healthy and happy. What motivates you now? My second answer to him after those first 5 years was I want to maximize my potential. I want to know what I'm fully capable of. The thing that motivates me now is the pain of regret. I don't want to be 60, 70, 80 years of age. I don't have the health that I have. I don't have the youth that I have. I don't have the connections and the opportunities that I have right now. And then I finally wake up and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But it's not there anymore. We only have right now. You have the youth that you have right now. I have the youth that I have right now. You have the people that are around you right now. Maximize it. Because I promise you, in 50 years from now, when your youth is gone, your knees go bad, your back goes bad, you have to take medicine, and you finally decide, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I just make the post on social media? Why didn't I just go knock on the door? Why didn't I just show up to the call in the Winner Circle coaching group? Why didn't I just listen to what my mentor told me to do? And you're sitting there at 60, 70 years of age, and you couldn't get your mom what she wanted. You couldn't provide for your kids the way you wanted. It is going to eat you up like a disease. That's the pain of regret. So I shared that with him there, and I wanted to share that with you guys today. And remind you all that if you're feeling unmotivated, if you're feeling discouraged in today's market, it's not anything that you're doing wrong. You just need to find a better, deeper why. You must find a why that makes you cry. You must find a why that's so painful that if you don't, that there's no such thing as you can't, or that you don't. It's only a must. Find out what that is. Find out what your deep, compelling why is. Step number one, if you're feeling that way. Step number two, I need you guys to attach yourself to a vision in the future that is extremely exciting. If you don't have a vision for yourself of what the future is going to look like, I want you all to watch this movie. The movie is called The Secret. The Secret. Watch the movie called The Secret. And then after you're finished with that, I want you all, if you have not done this yet, to create a vision board. Every single one of you on this call should have a vision board for what you want your future to look like, and it should be extremely exciting. Every time, and listen to me, when you create this vision board, this is your homework. When you create this vision board, you don't just get random magazines. You just don't download random images from the internet. You don't do that. What you do is this. You find images that are highly stimulating to you. Images that are really exciting, actually really mean something to you. So I'll tell you what I did in 2015. This is a true story. I'm not gonna lie, just keep it real. there was this model on Instagram in 2015. Her name was Anna Cherry. And I just thought, like, that's what I want my spouse to look like. So I cut out a bunch of images of Anna Cherry, put it on there. Then Shia LaBeouf, whatever his name is, Shia LaBeouf, whatever his name is, there's this movie that he was in. It was called Money Never Sleeps, Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. And I just thought his character in that movie was so fire. I'm like, that's the guy that I want to be. I want to be young in a suit making money. Wall Street Money Never Sleeps with Shia LaBeouf. I want you guys to look it up on Google when we're done with the call. I printed out a bunch of images of him. Then I printed out the kind of car that I exactly wanted, which is crazy because I have that car now. But it was a BMW convertible, silver champagne gold on the outside, beige seats on the inside, and I put a couple of images of those. And then I put nothing but high-rise condos on my 2015 vision board, which, by the way, I live in a high-rise condo now. And I had vision, nothing but there. And every time I looked at it, I'm like, how freaking exciting would it be to wake up in a condo high rise looking at nothing but skyscrapers? I put on my well-fitted suit because I'm well-spoken, I work out, I eat clean, I go down to my private garage, I get in my BMW convertible, I drive to the office, I'm talking to my clients on my Bluetooth. You guys remember those Bluetooths back in the day? Like it was like right here in your ear, I was connected to your mouth. Yeah, I was like, had an image of those. I'm like, how cool to be talking to my clients on my Bluetooth and I'm making money and I'm doing all that. That was so exciting for me. I was like, yes. And then I pull up home to like this image that I wanted. I ended up getting something 10 times better, by the way. Cherish, my wife. And I'm like, how cool would that be to do that? And have the most beautiful bride in the entire world. I'm like, so I was so excited about my future. Some of you on this call, you got to get excited about your future. Some of you haven't attached yourself to a vision that's exciting enough. Wake up, get some images on the photo, get some images on the board. What do you want your life to look like? Look at it every single day. Some of you have to get excited. Some of you have to put some images. Some of you have to have a vision. The Bible says, a man without vision shall perish. You don't get inside of your car every single day, drive hopelessly. No, you put the GPS on because you know exactly where you're going when you jump in your car. Some of you are like jumping in your car without GPS, living your life without GPS, have no idea where you're going, what you're going to do, what you're going for, what you want to look like, no vision. Get yourself a vision. Get yourself a vision that you're excited about, something that's going to compel you to work towards every single day. In those moments when you're not inspired, when you're not motivated, when you don't feel like doing crap and you're all up in your feelings, that's when I want you to look at your why. That's when I want you to look at your why that makes you cry and be like, damn, I got no damn choice. I need to get my ass up right now because if I don't, I've already lived that life once. And if you can't figure out what that looks like, I want all of you to do the exercise that I told you. Sit down in your home for 5-10 minutes quietly, no one around you. And I just want you to play it out. If you continue doing what you're doing now, what does it look like in 10, 20, 30, 50, 70 years from now? Do you ever make it out? Do you ever retire? Do you ever travel to Greece and buy the yacht and travel and put your entire family on a private jet, take them wherever they want to go on any vacation? Do you ever get to go shopping without looking at the price tag? And take care of your friends and family, contribute to your neighborhood? I want you to look at that. And if you're not able to help people, if you're not able to do what you want, when you want, with whoever you want, I want you to sit back in that. I want you to live that life and just sit there and think to yourself, damn, I missed it. I had the one opportunity and I didn't do it. Then I want you to wake up. And then I want you to all look at your life that you have right now and be thankful for the second opportunity that you have today. And I want you all to realize that you have the power to shift everything. Recap. I want every single one of you to create a desperate why that makes you cry. That's your motivation when you're not feeling inspired. Number 2, when you are feeling inspired, I need you all to attach yourself to a vision that is so exciting that every single day you just can't wait for the day that shows up. Have a vision that's exciting and have a why that makes you cry. Number 2, I want you all to watch The Secret. And then I also want all of you to create a vision board that's extremely exciting. And then lastly, I want you guys to do the exercise that I just gave you. Live this life first. See what it plays out. And if you don't like it, come back to reality. Thank God that you have a second one and change the story today. Okay, team. We are at 12:33. 3 minutes over. Any final thoughts or questions before we hop off the call?
Thank you.
Literally, thank you. Like, what I am in tears over here just because, like, man, that was awesome. Like, I'm sure we all can relate to just being that hungry as you were when you first started, you know, putting up sticky notes just to tell ourselves that we can make it, you know. That was powerful, man.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss Mina.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, team, I want you guys to all be great. Everyone put a Chuck E. Cheese smile on your face. I know I just made you guys all cry, but let's try our best. Here we go. Ready? I'm gonna take a screenshot. 1, 2, and Miss Dolores, do I get you? And here we go. And 3. Got it. All right, team. Go be great. Go be
Tag
excellent.
me.
I will. I'll tag all you guys this time. I didn't do it the last time. All right, yeah. Have God bless. Have a good day. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.